Good afternoon to teacher and also good afternoon to everyone. Today my group have 5 people and we are responsible in 8 points. So my group have me and also my group member. And yeah, my topic today is about the pepper tree, a question of proof. I think you know about the word pepper, but I would like to give you the definition of the pepper tree. Here is the content of our group. We divide into 8 until reference. The first one is what is pepper tree, second type of pepper tree, and the third how and when you use pepper tree in the right time, and the fourth is advantage and disadvantage, 5 challenges, 6 legal document. Legal document, it means legal pepper tree, and conclusion and reference. So let's jump to my point about the definition of the pepper tree. We have 2 definitions. One is from the book that teacher mentioned and also one panel, and the second definition is about the online website. Pepper tree is a documentary evidence of one action. So it means that pepper tree is the pepper that we prove to be an evidence in the story, especially in investigative story. We need to know about the accurate information. And this one is include all the paper and the printed record. It's like newspaper or magazine or something related to the paper. Yeah, and jump to my point about the type of pepper tree. We have 4 types of pepper tree. It means that we can take pepper tree from the people, business and institution, and non-government organization, and also government body and institution. For example, if you want to do an investigative story about the corruption, you can go to the people and institution, non-government or government, depend on your story that you need to prove allegation information from other institutions. So in here we just make all the primary source and secondary source. In fact, we have divided into primary source and secondary source. Which one are more accurate than which one? So the second part, let's move to also one. How and when we use pepper tree in the right time. No, this one I just to give the definition of the document. Document I already said about that, so let's move to the one.
Okay. Alright then, so now let's move to my point talking about how you use the pepper thread. First one, you use the pepper thread in order to proving the allegation of your story and solidity. For example, the investigative story is different from your news. The usual news. You need to have hard evidence. You need to have something that is legally proved that what you have mentioned is legal and solidified. And the second one, learning your story credibilities and demonstrate what you are telling a story is truthfully, accurately as possible. It's just like you need some document or reference that can show that what you have mentioned is truthful and accurate. So, and the second one, we're talking about leading you to the other source and resource. For example, if you may jump to the next one, you will understand what is pepper trail, and then you can see how it leads to the other source and resource. So now let's move to here. We move to the point where we use the pepper trail. The pepper trail is divided into 2 main parts. First one is primary and second one is secondary. For the primary source, it's just like some sort of the identity card. Money, can you move to the end? Yeah. For the for the primary source, it contains just like identity card, your birth certificate or something. It's just like the very legal certificate. And for the secondary source, it's just like what you can find out. It's just like from journal, from research, from news, from magazine or something. It's called secondary source. So those are sources. We use it to verify our news, investigative news. Yeah. And that's all to conclude on.
Yeah, let's come to advantage and disadvantage of the point.
Okay. Okay, now we come to another point, talking about the advantage and disadvantage of paper trail. Actually, most of you may assume that when you have a paper trail, you may have more advantages than other investigative journalists. And here come to the advantage one. Okay, first one, you may get a story that no one can do. For example, some superficial journalists, they just go to report a story without any proof to the news, whether it is accurate, it is credible, it is trustworthy or not. So with paper trail, you can verify your news, and it will make, you can prove that your news is more accurate than others. And also, you can make your story more stronger. For example, when you have the document, you can have lots of claim to your news. You do not just say, but you have something to support what you are saying. And yes, it will higher the credibility of your news. People may people will believe your news much more than other news, because you have do all the effort in order to dig out what actually behind the scene of the news. But there are some I don't say this is just this. Some point may refer to this disadvantage of paper trail, but some point just a little challenge of paper trail, because sometimes you know that you will go to have, you need one people identity card in order to prove something, but sometimes that thing is not available, or maybe sometimes those kind of documents are named differently in different countries, and there are more disadvantages like it could not be accurate sometimes. Sometimes when you are rushed in order to report the news or to write the news, sometimes you do not think about the the levels of accuracies of your paper trail. So you do not get it to verify with other source. So it can be one of disadvantage of having first glance paper trail without verifying to others kind of source. That's it for my part.
Yeah, now let's move to the challenges and difficulties.
So now let's come to my turn talking about the challenges. And as you all have know, as a journalist, it is not that easy to find the paper trail to make. What is the point of laughing? By using paper trail in your story, it's just to make the story become more concrete. And as a journalist, that is not easy to find the paper trail to support your story. But you yourself have to know the way to, it's like to communicate with the other people and find your way in order to make your story become more reliable and have the paper trail inside them. And with this point, journalists starting the new bit should seek out and learn about the form related to their new area. So that it means that if you are trying to do a research about one problem that related to your story, make sure if that site, if that area is new to you, then you have to do more research on that. And you need to keep all in mind that the paper trail from one step to another step, it's not that easy. So you need to go all level of the government in case that your story doing research related to the politician, something like that. So the paper trail must get from one step to another step. For example, you can start from Khom Sangkat and then up to the top. And please do not jump to the conclusion without getting any proof of the paper trail. For example, if you see a teacher, he wear an elegant dress, and he drive car, and then you can check that this teacher is doing corruption. That is why they are sorry. Please do more research on him. Sometimes he can he can get those versions from their family, or there's no corruption. So please make sure that you have a paper trail, and then you do a research on that person so that you can make the story become more reliable. Try to work out if there is any missing to the document. So before you finish it, you need to check again whether you have missed some part to with the story. Just like what I have mentioned, if you start from the first level and then jump to the top, make sure that you do not miss any part of that. And please, you have to question yourself where you need to get from the paper trail, where you need to get it from, who you can get the paper trail from. So you need to list it down. Is that, for example, the paper trail of the divorce, getting divorced. So you need to list what kind of paper you need and where you can get it, who you should contact. Just list it so that it makes you easy that when you have the outline of it. And if the data and information within the document accurate, then I think this one you already know. You must have checked it whether it is accurate or not with your document. Don't just see the paper trail and then you can trust it. Do not trust it 100%. You need to make sure whether it is accurate or it is really correct and should be used or not. Yeah, so it's not much different. Just check with it whether it is up to that or it is just in the part-time. If it is up that, so you don't have to use it. That does not mean that you don't have to use it. Just use, but just make sure if it is up to that, then it makes your story more better. Don't overlook. So yeah, again, if do not have, if you cannot get any paper trail, that does not mean you cannot do the story. But just get more resolve of it so that you can do a story. But does not mean if you cannot find a paper trail and then you cannot do the story. So here is the end of my turn, and go to my team member.
Yes, many thanks. So many thanks the fact that they explore